Hey everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, I'm gonna be trying out two new eyeshadow palettes from a brand that I actually haven't tried before. I am gonna be trying the new kind of like neutrally eyeshadow palette with a twist from Glassgods. This is a European indie brand. I believe it's a Swedish indie brand, and they just came out with these two eyeshadow palettes, and I just wanted to swatch these for you, show you some close-ups and do a look with these. So let's get into it. So the first palette that I have here is the Vintage Glam palette. These palettes, they come in a sleeve like this, and then when you actually open it, the front is the same as the sleeve. Inside of the Vintage Glam one, we have a color story that's very colorful but still neutral, very wearable. We have purples, we have pinks, but it's all pretty toned down, and it still looks like something you could wear every day. But the shimmers in here are very, very shiny. We have some multi-chromes, we have some very shiny shimmery shades. So it definitely isn't a palette that is boring. This is the type of palette that I actually really like. I like neutral looks, but I like them to be a little bit special. I like them to be a little bit different. And I love multi-chromes, but sometimes I'm not really into those multi-chromes who are like blue to green to pink and are just very shifty in opposite direction in very contrasting colors. Sometimes I like to have that interest of a multi-chrome without it being super colorful, and I feel like that is what these palettes are giving, and that is also why I was interested enough to pick this up, and why I was like, you know what, I think this is the moment to try this brand, because it kind of feels like it's made for me. It kind of feels like the thing for me, like something that is just really up my alley. And nowadays I'm not that interested in eyeshadow palettes anymore. I don't see a lot of eyeshadow palettes where I feel like they bring something very, very different. But this just looked amazing in the swatches. The photos looked amazing, so I was very, very curious. Then the second eyeshadow palette that I have here is a new Neutrals eyeshadow palette. This is a very interesting color story. It's kind of like khaki, it's kind of like warm browns, but we also have some green in there. The shade Never Shy is such an interesting multi-chrome. It has like peach, gold, green, gray, maybe even a little hint of blue. And I feel like this eyeshadow palette, the new Neutrals, is the eyeshadow palette that has the most stunning, shifty, most crazy shiny shades. These shadows are so shiny that when I swatch them, I almost got a little bit scared that they are gonna be too shiny. I feel like these are the most shiny eyeshadows that I have ever swatched. They are crazy. They are crazy. So we're gonna try it out on the eyes and see how it actually looks, if I can still make it into a somewhat wearable look. But yeah, I'm just very curious to see how it all works. I think both of these palettes look amazing. They don't disappoint when you see them in real life. Right away when you open them, they look so interesting and so different and so special, even though the color stories are a little bit toned down. But I still feel like they picked an interesting range of shades that is just a little bit different, just a little bit interesting. And yeah, that made it even more like a launch that felt for me. Was for me. You might know that I'm right now on a low buy and I can only buy 2 eyeshadow palettes a month. Well, I can buy a maximum of 2 of the same product a month. It doesn't mean that I have to buy or want to buy 2 eyeshadow palettes a month. That could still get a little bit much. But I saw these and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take the risk. I'm just gonna do this and I think it's gonna be worth it. So yeah, let's get into a look. Alright, so I zoomed you in a little bit. I actually don't know what I want to do because I really love the color story of the Vintage Glam. That's a little bit more purpley and I feel like it goes a little bit more with the top that I'm wearing. But on the other hand, we have the new Neutrals that has the most shiny, shifty shades, I thought, from swatching these. So I kind of don't know what I want to do, but in a way, I kind of want to try the shade Never Shy, and then I also kind of want to try one of these really flaky shades and see how that works out. Maybe I will go for this eyeshadow palette. I have decided that I'm not gonna do 2 looks today because my eyelids, I don't know if you can kind of tell, but they are so dry. I have eczema on my eyelids for some reason. The funny thing is, I have very oily eyelids, but over here this is like super dry, so I don't really know how to fix this. I'm just gonna keep it pretty simple, and I think I'm gonna go into this palette, but I might just grab a shade from here as well if I feel like it. I mean, this Old Soul shade would be a perfect inner core highlight. So I think I'm just gonna start with the shade Pretty Too Faced in the crease. Just taking a crease brush, and I'm very curious to see as well how these mattes will work, because I feel like the shimmers are gonna be crazy, but are these mattes like up to par with that quality, with that crazy quality? I did apply an eye primer underneath. I always do that before filming, so my eyes are primed, and this is blending beautifully. It's looking beautifully. It's very pigmented. Very nice. This shade is still giving me quite a lot of dimension and control, and I can really create some depth out here in the outer corner, so that is nice. I think that's a nice shade. I think that is looking pretty good. And now let's see what I want to do for the outer corner. I think maybe I'm gonna put a little bit of Beautiful Planet. Oh, Beautiful Planet. I don't know where I got that from. Beautiful Past, of course, it's a vintage palette. I'm gonna put a little bit of that in the outer corner, and I have a feeling that this is gonna be a very pigmented shade, so just taking a tiny bit and deepening things up over here. I feel like that is working together quite well. I don't know if this blend is like absolutely perfect, but at least the shades are really nice and pigmented. And we're gonna go over it with some shimmers. So I think it's all gonna be quite nice in the end. I'm just gonna take a somewhat clean brush and blend out these edges a little bit, like so. And I think I wanna first start out with the shade Never Shy, this multi-chrome, and then I might add one of the flaky shades, but I really want to try that one. Just look at how that looks on my finger. You also saw it in the swatches, but this is like blue, green, peach, gold. It's like the most smooth, insanely shiny multi-chrome ever. Wow, that is so nice. That is actually so nice. I hope you can kind of see that, but it's so shiny. Just blending it up a little bit. Just adding this to the other side. I feel like because it has that green and blue in the base and then the golden peach as the shift, it looks extra stunning and shiny and impactful. Just really, really cool. Alright, this is already one of my favorite shades. It is so nice. I want to try a flaky shade because we have these more smooth shimmers and then we have some really, really flaky shades. This one, for example, you can not really like go in there as with other metallics or smoother shimmers. You kind of have to pat and then you can pick it up. If you just go in as you usually do, it's just gonna crumble all over. So I'm just gonna pat a bit with my finger, take a little bit, and I'm just taking just the tiniest bit and applying that to the outer corner. Yeah, that's already more than enough, and that is so cool. If you kind of like blend that out, wow, That is such a beautiful shade. It's kind of like brown, but also with a bit of green and gold. And I'm just patting it on so it doesn't like fall all over, because it's a bit of a dangerous shade to apply. Just taking bit by bit. Alright, I love this look already. I hope it comes across on camera because it is so shiny. So cool. Alright, I'm gonna take a little bit of the shade Pretty Too Faced again, and I'm gonna just mesh this all together a little bit. Kind of blend this all on the edge here. We have a little bit of fallout, but it's actually not too bad. So this is what the look is like right now, and I feel like it looks so good. I can't believe these shimmers. Okay, for the inner corner, I think I want to do the inner corner first and then decide on the lower lash line. For the inner corner, I think I want to take the shade Old Soul, which is like a yellowy champagne with a pink shift. Just taking a pencil brush and... Alright, that's really pinky. When you apply it like that, the pink definitely shines through. I don't know if I really think that is the best combination, but we're just gonna go with it. This is just what we're doing now. Alright, so that's the inner corner highlight. For the lower lash line, let's get into some more cool tones. Let's try that. So I'm gonna go into the It's a Classic, and I'm gonna apply it to the lower lash line first. So we're still gonna do a bit of a combination of two palettes. Just smoking that out a little bit, and then we'll deepen it up later. Ooh, I got some of that in my eye. It's a little bit powdery. I'm gonna take the shade Center Stage, this one, and I'm gonna deepen up the lower lash line with that. Kind of mesh it all together. Right, this is getting a little bit messy, but I'm gonna clean it up in a sec. And then it's all gonna be okay. But these shades are a little bit powdery. Just a bit. So be careful. Alright, this has turned into quite the smoky look. I think I'm gonna leave it like this. I am just gonna fix the rest of my makeup and collect my thoughts, and then I'll be right back to tell you what I think. Alright, so this is the finished look and the finished makeup look, and this eye look has blown me away. I can't stop looking at the shininess and the shifts of these shimmers. I think this brand really nailed it. At least I think so far. I still have to see how it wears. I still have to see if it doesn't crease faster than any other brands. But so far I'm blown away. I think this looks amazing. Okay, so the palette that I used the most was the new Neutrals. I think that the shimmers in here are just amazing, so beautiful. The dark mattes are a little bit powdery. The lighter mattes are not as powdery. I feel like the mattes are quite blendable though. You can get some depth. They do have the pigment. So far I really like the mattes, but I do feel like the shimmers are the standouts. I have to try the mattes a little bit more to really make up my mind. I have to try both these palettes a little bit more, but I feel like I'm most impressed by the shimmers, even though especially the mid-tone matte that I tried was really nice. And yeah, it's kind of like the same story here. I also feel like the shimmers that I used from this were really beautiful, really pretty, really impactful. And also the mattes that I used from this one was really nice and pigmented. This was a little bit more powdery. All in all, I'm just really impressed with these palettes, with this brand. Until now, I had heard about this brand. I was interested in this brand, but I didn't feel like they had launched something that really made me go, yes, that is it. That is the first thing that I'm gonna try. I'm a very brand loyal person. If I like a brand, I will buy different things. I will have faith in their quality and that I will like it and what it will be like. But if I have to try a new brand, if I'm gonna try a new brand, then the launch has to be perfect. It has to be perfect for me. And I feel like this was finally it, and I'm so excited to try these palettes more, to use them more, to do more looks with them. And I'm really excited that I got to try this brand, because I feel when I look at this is on par with indie brands that I've tried from all over the world actually, but indie brands that I've tried from the USA as well. Sometimes I feel like I kind of have to order from the USA to get something, but this has really made me see that that is not necessary, because these shades are just as shifty, just as shiny as US indie brands that I've tried. I mean, this look is just stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. So beautiful. So far, I'm like, I think these are worth it. I think these are worth trying out, picking up. But of course, I will update you after I've tried them out a little more. For me, this is just what I want in makeup right now. This is my makeup style. This is what I'm going for. Interesting, multi-chrome, but not too crazy colors. I have kind of stopped buying like blue, green eyeshadow palettes. This is what I want. This is for me the perfect smoky, slightly colorful fall look. Okay, and that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe, and then I will see you in my next one. Bye bye!